What are the two stages of exiting ihram after Hajj? So the busiest day in Hajj is the 10th, right? So on the 10th, people will leave Mina. They will, well, first of all, they've got to get to Mina from Muzdalifah in the morning, and then on the 10th itself, they will stone the first the Jamara, right? They will the biggest one, as we call it. People call it the big shaitan, right? So they will stone the Jamara. Then they will do their sacrifice, right? Shave their hair and do tawaf ziyarah, right? And sounds like, oh, it's some simple 4 tasks, but you have to walk from Mina to the Jamarat. There's, all of that crowd and the jostling. Then after the Jamarat, obviously traditionally people went to the place, people kind of sacrificed an animal in the vicinity. Now you have to go to the slaughterhouse to do it. Most people will simply order their sacrifice done with their Hajj group, their Hajj organizer. And then after the Jamarat, they will simply proceed to come back to Mecca. And then either on the way or when they arrive back in Mecca, they will wait for news of the sacrifice. And usually you'll get a text message or a phone call saying that, okay, our group sacrifices are done, or you particularly, your sacrifices have been done, or they might get news of 10 people, 20 people at a time, and so on. Once the news of the sacrifice arrives, however it comes, text message, phone call, whatever, you've received news of the sacrifice, you can now proceed to come out of ihram. And that has a ritual, right? You shave your hair, cut your hair, have your shower, and change your clothes, but pretty much go back to normal, right? So starting with, and you would have already done this before, right? When you did your umrah, etc. You shaved your hair, cut your hair, then went back to your hotel room and had your shower. So you go through that same process of coming out of ihram, except that this is only stage 1. Everything has become permissible except for sexual relations. That then becomes permissible after you've done your tawaf ziyarah, which most people will do on the same day, particularly the physically able people. Some people will delay to the next day, right? But it's important to remember that you still can't have sexual relations, right? Or anything connected to that. And it has happened. I've encountered people who come up to me with the questions saying, oh, I thought I was completely out and, we did some stuff. Basically, you can't, right? So that's still, and that's what's meant by the 2 stages. First stage is after you've come out of ihram, in terms of you've basically shaved your hair, changed your clothes, had your shower and so on. You get this sense of, okay, I'm back to normal, I'm nice and clean and so on. And everything is indeed permissible, but except for sexual relations. That's stage 1. Once you've done your tawaf ziyarah, whenever you do it, when you do your tawaf ziyarah and that's completed, that's when it's stage 2 of becoming halal, and you've completely come out of ihram and everything becomes permissible. All right, and after that, people proceed to go back to Mina normally.
Follow us and subscribe now on all things Hajj and Umrah.